this is where we're going with this. So last video, I don't think I really finished on the Hot Toys thing, so I'm going to spill it out. I don't think they really messed around with too much die-cast in the beginning. Today's review, the die-cast War Machine. Their first version was a plastic version, which besides some of the paint apps is identical, except for obviously the lack of die-cast. Everybody loved it. They reissued it in die-cast. They went from Mark 1 all the way up to Mark 6. They have Iron Man Unleashed, which is just the, I think, Mark II silver version before it became War Machine. You can take off like the chest piece, the metal. All the Hot Toys, for the most part, Iron Man, their claim to fame is that chest piece. Almost all of them come off, even if it's a plastic, except for the House Party ones. Those are just kind of like their, just plastic, so they could say they made every piece of armor. House Party Protocol from Iron Man 3, those figures actually brings me to another subject I wanted to touch on real quick. So there's different classes Hot Toys has. They have their Power Pose, which I only think they came out with a couple. Red Snapper is definitely one of them. And there's another one like Mark 42 or something, where you cannot pose it at all, I don't think. The Red Snapper has more posability. So there's that. There's the die-cast, the non-die-cast, and I think there's another, there's the Movie Masterpiece series, and I think maybe something else. We'll compare this guy to the Iron Patriot, the big one. I think it's Iron Patriot 2.0, because regular Iron Patriot is basically the Mark II repaint, which is the shittiest armor, I think. It looks like a skin suit. It really sucks. So I kind of have this one set up already. I'm going to go battle damaged, full bore. I think I might. I have some fire effects, so I might try to put some on here just to give them some effects. I already swapped out, there's just a simple ball joint here, and I already swapped this piece out for the battle damage. So you only get one shoulder piece like that, which is fine. You got bicep swivel. Some of these, the elbow can drop down. You got the guns attached. There's the battery compartment for the reactor beam light. Look at this. This thing is so cool, man. I love the paint job on the Hot Toys. It has just enough speckling for weather, like it's been used. It's not pristine. Love that. Look at just the details on everything in here. So Mark 1, the OG, best one. They peaked out the gate with this design for sure. I mean, this War Machine. They also have Hot Toys also. Oh, there's another one. The comics, comic masterpiece. They have the original Iron Man and the Iron Patriot as well, but they have this like plastic clear coating on them, and I can see kind of why they did that. I think they wanted that shiny kind of comic look in a certain light, and the pictures I see of it aren't that bad, but I think maybe when you have it in hand, the plastic is a little more egregious. So yeah, there's a comic thing. Look at, what's awesome? Remember the original Mark 1? Okay. As time goes on, the nanotechnology, took over. Just the technology in general on the Iron Man has gotten better. But let's bring it back to that cave scene. There's the Iron Patriot over there. I'm going to bring him out in a second. All right, let's bring it back to that cave scene where the Mark I comes walking out. And here's something I want to point out. Remember on the sides, he had these big gear, belt things to move his legs? This is still the Mark II. It's just been upgraded with all the extra guns, war machine. I mean, it's built for war. Let me just show you real quick this flap. That's kind of sick right there. Boom. So getting back to this, look, you still have the remnants of those belts. Just like an upgraded, sleeker version. I mean, I just think that's amazing. So as time went on, I'm sure, and I'm not an Iron Man expert. That's just something I've noticed as a casual fan off the bat. And I think the attention to detail, especially with Hot Toys, bringing this to life like that, is really cool. And I mean, it's heavy. You can feel the die cast. This is a substantial piece. So I already pulled it up, but the waist comes up a click. So you can get a little more. I am going to deck them out in the battle damage. So here's the original head. And what's nice about this, you have the original Rhodey head. And then you could put the mask on it. Something like this, if I leave that off and you want to suspend your disbelief, you can actually use this as maybe like a RoboCop villain or something. Here's another beautiful head sculpt by Hot Toys. See, I'm not sure if I want to use this just... I don't know. There was a mask where there was a part that came down. Maybe it wasn't this one that hit him on the nose. So that can lock up. You want it to come off. Boom. I think it can also... Yep. So if you want to get that up visor look, and it's a magnet. Oh, look at that. You can see the eyes right through it. So since I'm not going to be using the light, I might just keep his headpiece in there. But, hold on. I'm going to miss the red. Look at. And you know what? So you want to put the mouthpiece down and then click it in. I want the red, so I have... Yeah, that's a definite. I'm definitely going to go with the articulated hands, and these are them. Yeah, feel sturdy. They don't feel cheap and flimsy. I'm looking at this next to some of my other figures, and I'm going to get a couple to compare with the War Machines here. Just so you can see the scale of the 1/6 figures. I put these up against, I actually have a Mosho I want to compare them to from my buddy S. Gokin. Shout out S. Gokin. But it makes a lot of the other toys look like just toys. I mean, this thing is substantial and big. Chunky, heavy. Ugh. It's really great if you're two things, a die-cast fan and a War Machine fan. I'm not necessarily a fan of Iron Man. Look at this. I'm going to swap out all these parts. So there's the battery compartment back here. I don't have this plugged in yet. The back of the gun rotates. The front of the gun rotates. Just be careful while swiveling it so you can, get it the way you like it without snapping anything. This goes back and forth. You can have the cannon on either side, which I think he has it on his right side, but I'll double check. Yeah, I'm going to swap these out. They have the booster pack in the back. The attention to detail is amazing. Look at that. So for as similar as the Iron or War Machine are, with the subtle upgrades here and there, I don't know why they really went down on 2. Mark II. I don't know. I think they were trying to make it... maybe they messed up. Maybe they... something. Because he went from this big, bulky War Machine to just like a little sleek Iron suit. And then they decided to repaint it as Iron Patriot, which made it even more gay. But when you have the big, bulky Iron Patriot, it's game on. So here you go. You can see the light here. Throw on... nice and easy swap out, but not too loose. There you go. We'll raise this panel up. We'll pull that off. Yeah, way better. And they're a little... these ones are a little tighter, so you can get more action out of it. Possibly have them hold something if you want. Have them do the, kind of do the blast. Not really with these hands. He has blaster hands. So, or repulsor hands, if you want to swap those out. You can pull this off of the Gatling gun to have that effect. So it's going to be... see, the whole Hot Toys thing is it's, you know, they're movie accurate. So when you get something like that, they want to try to, their whole goal is to try to make it like it's stepped off the movies. That's why you're getting this specific battle damage. And again, not every company is perfect. So they try to do the best they can, but that's Hot Toys, my assumption, the main goal. They don't really go off script too much. This is my first foray into Hot Toys. So I could be wrong about a lot of things, but I've watched a lot of reviews. Justin's collection is a good one for Hot Toys. Donaby 2, Donaby 2, something like that. I'm sorry if I'm screwing it up, but yeah, those are a couple of my favorite ones. So I've been watching a lot of them, trying to figure out what War Machine to get, what Hot Toys to get. Here's the base. Comes with the pole. It's a nice base. I love it, diorama style. But it's just taking up too much room. Don't want to deal with it. I might use it in a different setup. All right, I'll go over some articulation here. So you have... I like the way the boots look. The paint is great. Joints are tight on this guy. And look at back here. See, remnants of the Mark II. Look at that attention to detail. The thrusters in there. The little individual arms that pull it out. I'm going to kind of leave them open a little. Alright, let me close them for now while I'm going over this shit. Alright, there we go. That's fine. Some nice soft rolling ratchets. Hip joint can click down. Come out on a ball socket like the other Iron Patriot. This one's a lot tighter out the package though. Yeah, I mean, he's looking good. I might use his stand. I'll figure it out. The Hot Toys, they're heavy. And I've pointed out before, they use plastic in the ball joints here to hold the, you know, you can see the plastic ball joints in the limbs. Over time, you want to make sure that you're not going crazy on the poses. Or have some sort of stand, because I think the plastic over time will definitely warp. I'm going to change out his chest plate. So this is the battle damaged head. I'm going to swap out these. They give you one for battle damaged on the other side. The ex-wife is in there. That Gatling gun, man. Yeah, you know, it's fine. But when they got more futuristic, that's when I kind of you know, I kind of check out. Like the nanotechnology thing for me is just, it's like magic. You're just going to like magic. I like when you can replace a part, something breaks off. You remember Hulkbuster, Age of Ultron 2? You can get these legs to go out more. You can get them to drop down and go out a lot more, but it sounded hard on clicky. I didn't want to, like, you know, I just don't want to go too nuts on it. There's a little spring-loaded mount here. I'm going to swap out the chest plate. If you're ever wanting to swap out and you're not sure how it came out, you can't find a video, instructions are hard sometimes when the way they explain things, you guys know. But that's cool. Look at the piece and then kind of follow it. So you see these two tabs here? How does this piece click in? There's a couple knobs or indents here, whatever you want to call it. So what I'm going to do is just spread it apart easily. Chest piece, and then get the new one on there. So it tucks in pretty well, I'll say that. But these, so I'll probably have to go maybe up underneath it and pull a little. Here's the thing. As much as I love War Machine, mechanics, this, that, and the other, I never got into... Normally, if this was almost anything else, I'd probably just have him walking around without the chest piece on or display it differently or something. I love how they do this. But for me, the whole Iron Man skeleton, you know, the bones would be something I thought I might be interested in just because of the mechanics of it. But I don't know. There's something about the way they draw or do the Iron Man one. I mean, it's all right. These two, I want to show you, come down for some reason. I don't know if they might lock these in. So it's weird how those are on springs. But anyway. Clicks right on. I barely have him posing. It almost looks like he's already, you know, in the middle of a battle scene. Here's the battery compartment. So if we switch around to the back, and like I said, here, let's check out. We got some good ab crunch on him. I mean, this thing, for what it is pretty, you know, arms go 360. He's pretty flexible. Pretty posable for a 1/6. Those rocket boosters on the back, the ones in the back here are cool. So let me move this out of the way. So these, I think they're on a magnet or whatnot. They kind of come down and out. So you pull them out, you pull them down a little bit, out and up. Oh, wow, look at that. Wow. I just found this out. I think you can have it. Well, you can do whatever you want. It's your figure. But if you want the backpack sticking out... Let me get this out of here for a second. Look at that. So now they won't just fall in. So I don't think it's really meant to do that. But the magnets hold it in pretty well. And it looks cool. Yeah, so you can have them. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that in any review yet. The battery pack, I mean, if you want to unscrew it and do it, I'll just leave it. You know what? Maybe I'll do it. Yeah, I'll just do it. Complete the look. So when you take it off, this little thing here comes up. Shit. Anyway, this thing comes up here. See it? There's a little screw behind there. Put the cap on. They give you a screwdriver in the package with the battery, so make sure you use this because this fits perfectly. You don't want to strip that screw. So there's a couple little hinges right here that are supposed to connect underneath to make them not come out. But if you leave it over and just plug the magnets in, it's very sturdy. It's almost like it's meant to be on there. And it will keep them open so you don't have to worry about, you know, if you move it, they bump in or... And you can always put them back. So it doesn't even matter. You can always put them in. It's a cool little touch. In here, I had put these on earlier. Whoops. But each leg calf has 2 pieces that can come off. I mean, if the paint matched more, I'd probably just leave the calf plates off. Kind of don't know why they do it in the first place, but I'm not going to complain. You know, any more inner workings, the better, I always say. But yeah, these boosters on the back with those are amazing. This little shoulder piece. Boom, comes right up and out. It does come close to the head, so just be careful. That is kind of badass. I'm surprised, like in the original, he didn't have another gun coming off. The Punisher. War Machine armor, you've probably seen that with the skull on the chest, the eyes. Sorry, the skull on the face mask. That one is the Mark III. A little retweaked and repaint for the Punisher. I guess there was a comic where the Punisher stole a War Machine armor. That just is double deadly. Could you imagine if War Machine... They should make where... I don't know how long the story went on, but they should make it where... I don't know, something happens. He literally takes the War Machine armor. He has to keep working on it just to keep it functioning. And then, you know, he has to keep fixing it. You know, just some story arc like that I think would be really badass. And then he decked it out his way. It's like War Machine, but worse. Fucking handcuffs come flying off, capture people. Saw blades. I mean, just a fucking butcher machine would be cool. The arc reactor, the hands, the eyes, everything lights up on this. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Oh, wow. So I just noticed that. See, I was pushing down. Oh, yeah, the flaps inside go down. I mean, this guy is just too cool, man. They're really playing danger. With those fucking spikes right next to the head, huh? I don't think I'm going to really display that. And then this is the ex-wife missile pod. So I found where this one piece goes. It goes right here. And you can tell which way it goes on so you don't break off the wrong panel. Just match it up because there is a left and right. So we'll do this together on camera real quick. There it is. Boom. 1, 2. All that for that. Now this arm's a little damaged. Perfect. Here they are, side by side. So I know I have them kind of in an A pose, but I think they're about the same size. That battle damage just looks too cool. Heavy, chunky, die-cast figures. Definitely make a present on the shelf. At first, I didn't like the Iron Patriot scheme. Alright. But now, the paint, I love it. I love it with that gray, metallic, the red. The only thing, and when I got it out the box, the legs were really loose. If you see the last review, check it out. But anyway, use the little kiki, tightened it up, have permanent arc reactor power supply on. I mean, these guys are just a force to be reckoned with. Nice and heavy. So I took his cradle stand and I put it on my own stand because I wanted to give him, he's so heavy, I just wanted to give him enough balance to where all the weight wasn't resting on his legs. I'm going to get War Machine in a stand. I'm going to try to use the 1/6 scale stands to see if those work. You know, the ones with the metal cradle. Permanent Power, re-edit Hulkbuster. Glowing Force Arc Reactor, love it. Now let's compare to some more people. Here's a Mosho figure for comparison. Wow. Okay, so if you guys, I didn't even notice this. Let's put it this way. If you guys are RoboCop fans, okay, and you have one of these RoboCop Hot Toys, I'm telling you right now, the Iron Man is almost an inch taller, 3/4 of an inch taller, wider, beefier. Not even the Iron Patriot. I'm talking the regular Iron Man. Wow. That's crazy. Look at that, back to back. Damn, that's crazy. Back to back on these guys. Yep, so the Iron Patriot's a little taller, you can see. Of course, he's upgraded, more decked out. They went fully out before they came out with the, I don't know, no, was it the Mark 6 and then they did this one? Or was it this one and then the Mark 6? I don't really remember. RoboCop, don't get jealous because he's taller than you. Here's a comparison with the Soul of Chogokin Mazinger Z DX for all my super robot heads out there. They're about the same height. War Machine, just because his head is more of a dome than a flat, I'd say he's a couple millimeters taller. Plus, he's not standing up straight. Mazinger Z, for the most part, is. So I'd say he's a little taller than a couple millimeters standing up. But this gives you a way better idea of what's going on. The War Machine looks just, he looks animated, fine. Two different looks going on here. We have an animated and we have like a real world badass. He is the version of Mazen Kaiser SKL, if you will, when it comes to this robot shit. Just real badass. I mean, he looks like an ass kicker. It would have been nice. My only thing is that comic book where he first came out, where you see him just black and white on the cover, War Machine. I used to have that comic. I wish he had another shoulder-mounted gun. That's really the only thing I can complain about. If he had another gun coming off over there, like, that would be war. Extra guns on the gauntlets. But I guess this is what we're getting. It would have been nice to have a couple more guns, I guess, huh? Something on the outside. Please like, share, subscribe. Hope you liked the video. We have, to give you a heads up, we have 2 more coming in. We have the War Machine Comics Origin. And we have the Punisher armor. So those are all different enough to me. I didn't need number 2. I didn't need to get the 3. And we also have 4 coming in with the digital armor. So 2 and 3 would have looked too much alike. Mark II Iron Patriot paint, gay. This one gets a pass because he's such a fucking crazy badass. And it looks good. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. We'll see you guys in the next one. We're in 2025, and this is the Iron Man. This is the Hot Toys era.